Hi everybody, I'm Dr. John Douillard and welcome to LifeSpa.com, where we prove the ancient medical wisdom of Ayurveda along with modern science. And today I want to talk about something really important. It's an ancient herbal supplement called natto. Natto comes from something called fermented soy. You know, in the early days in China and in India, soy was considered a toxin. It was considered a food not to consume. In India, it was for the cows only. Nobody ate soy anything. But around 1400, a Chinese doctor figured out a way to ferment the soy. And it went from being something as a toxin in their materia medica to being something now as a medicine. And the medicine that came out of it was called natto, which has an enzyme in it called nattokinase. And nattokinase is a fibrinolytic enzyme, which means it breaks up scar tissue. So how it works in your body is let's say you get injured, right? And then the injury creates muscle constriction. Muscle constriction creates lack of blood supply. Lack of blood supply means I can't get the blood in, I can't get the waste out. The body says, oh, this is bad. So the body starts laying down a tissue that doesn't use blood. It's a protective tissue called scar tissue or fibrous tissue. And that fibrous tissue doesn't require any blood. It's kind of like if you have a grass lawn and you don't water it, or you go to grass in Florida or somewhere, the grass is really, really tough. Or you get crabgrass. If you don't water your lawn, you get this crabgrass that doesn't need a lot of water, right? So the same thing happens to your body. If you don't have good blood supply because of an injury and muscle contraction, you're not going to get the blood in, the waste out. And the body will lay down a tissue that doesn't require that much blood. And that's called fibrous tissue. That fibrous tissue can actually over time turn into calcium and create calcium plaque in your arteries. Now other bacteria that can get into your mouth, one called Streptococcus mutans, can actually get into your arteries via your mouth and your teeth if the gums are bleeding. And about some 60% of arterial plaque is due to a plaque-laying, calcium-laying bacteria, same plaque that lays down plaque in your mouth, that can be laid in your arteries as well. So there's sort of two mechanisms for that. And you want to make sure you have really good oral hygiene. Ayurveda's got, like I've written so many articles on tongue scraping and oil pulling and the science behind all those things. You want to know about why it's so important to keep your mouth healthy. But the fermented soy product, the natto, that protects your heart and your arteries by naturally protecting or breaking down this fibrous tissue. It's a fibrinolytic enzyme. So that's why it works so well for helping protect the arteries from building plaque. Your body has a natural mechanism which it actually helps to protect it from plaque, accumulation in your arteries. And natto is one of the things that supports your body's natural healthy response to the beginning of fibrin tissue being laid down, which could eventually be converted into calcium. So natto is something that has been shown in studies, many studies, to support healthy blood flow in the arteries. It shows it's a natural protector against plaque formation. If you take it with exercise and vitamin K2, we have something called vitamin K2 max, which has got the MK7 component of vitamin K, which lasts the longest. And that has matrix proteins to make sure that the calcium goes from your blood into your bones and it keeps it away from your arteries. So taking the natto and the vitamin K together has been shown to boost the effectiveness of that effect of getting your bones stronger and keeping your arteries cleaner, which is kind of pretty cool. The benefits of natto also work sort of interestingly because they actually support a healthy microbiome. Studies show that by changing the microbiome with this fermented soy product, it actually can help support the body's natural and effective anti-inflammation pathway. It's been shown to boost arterial health as well as, again, be a plaque protector. So the mechanism for how the natto works somehow seems to work through a healthy intestinal microbiome. And in Ayurveda, it's really all about, the digestion. 85% of all diseases said to come from some underlying imbalance in your digestive process. So critically important to have good digestion, and natto does that somehow from this underlying mechanism. We're still learning more about how it works. It's also been shown to help protect you from cold hands and cold feet. If you're struggling with cold hands and cold feet all the time, it's because you have vasoconstriction. You're not getting the blood circulating into your fingers or your toes, and the waste is not getting out. So it's not getting that circulation, so it gets colder. Well, studies show when you took people who had cold hands and cold feet, and they immersed their hands and feet into cold water, the ones that took the natto had significantly less vasoconstriction and therefore had warmer hands and warmer feet. So a pretty cool thing to know that you can do is take this, and again, we're just supporting healthy circulatory function, right? That's important. It's also really been shown to be effective for the brain. It actually been shown in studies to decrease cognitive function, increase mental function as well, decrease cognitive decline while increasing mental function and increasing a protein called the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which has been shown to increase the production of brain cells and increase cognitive function and brain cell longevity, which is really important. So that's pretty much the story about natto. I highly recommend if you're fighting issues with your cholesterol levels and you're worrying about your heart, natto would be definitely one of the things to have on your list of things to do to protect your heart. I'm a big fan of things like niacin and natto together for your help support healthy cholesterol levels and also help protect your artery lining so there's healthy flow of your arteries both in your body as well as in your heart. So check out this article. I've written a pretty comprehensive article on the benefits of natto with all the science there. You can go there at lifespa.com, read all about it. Go to our store at lifespa.com. We actually just brought in, I used to carry natto years and years ago, and it didn't sell. Like nobody wanted to buy it, so we ended up having so much of it that expired. It was so weird because it had, the science was there back then. But I think a lot of us, when I started this 40 years ago, a lot of us now are older and we're thinking about our heart more. I know I am, and I take natto because I'm thinking about my heart way more than I did when I first started carrying this 20, 30 years ago. So I highly recommend thinking about natto. Read the research on it. Check out our store for our natto. It's a super potent, concentrated natto that I really like and super high quality. So check it out at lifespa.com and go to our store and check out our natto and all of our Ayurvedic organic herbs as well. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. John Douillard. Do you like this video? Don't forget to subscribe and share.
This recording is brought to you by LifeSpa, where ancient Ayurvedic wisdom meets modern science. Get access to free health video newsletters by Dr. John at lifespa.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.